was a lonely silhouette, needed somebody to show the way. Yeah, I was a heartbeat with no sound till you came around. Yeah, you showed me colors, light in the darkness. You were the only thing I needed. Then we got older, but we stayed the same. Swear that we never lost the flame. Nostalgia, you're an echo in my head. Oh, nostalgia, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, nostalgia.
Everybody dance.
He stopped counting again.
Hello.
Guess I'll just wait.
Hello, everyone. Chat.
Have we started yet?
We started. Yeah, we're live. We're
you
doing it.
But you didn't finish counting down.
I never finish counting down. You should know better.
You think of one day you'll appease me?
Listen, I did appease you. I appeased you, and I appeased our chat with, what I'm about to do for our show and tell. So go. Why don't you get into show and tell for you, and I'll show chat what I've done. Take a look.
We just got to discuss RUM news first.
Okay. Well, yeah. You know what? Okay. Yeah. Let's discuss RUM news first.
You're breaking tradition.
Well. It is what it is. What are you gonna do?
So.
No.
Terrible memory syndrome again.
Yeah.
Did we announce the next dates for the shows coming up? I think we did.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
I couldn't remember when I actually got them, but I'll repeat them.
I was gonna say, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to say them again.
So, 2 weekends ago, we did the Time Travelers Indoor Market at the Bartlesville Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be there again. Stand by. I sent it to the other 3D printing guy. Thought it was a lot sooner. Oh, there it is. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there. No, it's not. Dang it. I picked up my phone and I was like, no, it'll be faster to look on Discord. There it is. July 13th and 14th. We'll be at the mall again. And then again on September 14th and 15th. So kind of like mid-month and mid-month. When is that? Yeah. Second weekend of July. We'll be at the mall again.
Okay.
This time it'll be actually in the mall, like in the main corridors. Not really a hallway. Whatever you call that. The main walking area.
Concourse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Spirit Halloween's going to be in the old J.C. Penney's building. So if you need Halloween costumes or little pre-show the show and tell mask to go with your Halloween costume.
Oh, if you're doing a Ghost of Tsushima cosplay, that might be pretty cool.
You can come see them and come see us.
Yeah.
If you need accessories, they make vials. And... Did I ever show those vials I made? I don't know if I did. I made them like right before the show. I made the little screw-on vials.
Oh.
But they're buried now. Next episode I'll buzz those out. They're pretty cool. They're little, about as tall as a Coke can, but it has a screw-on cap where you can store whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
Or as a guy who used to work at the DSR who is a pirate balloon animal artist.
Pirate balloon animal.
Pirate themed balloon animal artist.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Has the full blown getup. Goes to like Renfest and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing that, as far as I know, forever, like 20 years. And he came to the show at the mall, and I swear for like 20 minutes he was referencing the SNL skit. And apparently it was redone on, I want to say like 51st Dates or something with Adam Sandler. Where they're like, this dragon egg came from the Egyptian kings, would give it as a gift for their 15th birthdays. And you know what else you can do? You can put your weed in it, man.
Yeah. That's something that I use. It's something that I use all the time. Like when you got when you gave me those little mini milk crates, I was like, oh, you know what you can do with those little mini milk crates? You can put your weed in there, man. Yeah. I use that Oh, anytime I see something like
Dude.
small that's got like a little container, you could put your weed in there, man.
Yeah, dude, he made that reference like 20 times in like 30 minutes. And I was like, dude, I get it.
This sounds
I
like
get
my
it.
kind of fucking humor, man.
But I mean, it was funny, but it's like when you're trying to like, maintain a good business front, you don't want to be laughing at weed jokes 20 times in 30 minutes.
That's fair. King Tut.
But now I
hello.
can't stop thinking about it though because of the vial thing. Where my first thought was, and you could put your weed in there, man.
Yeah, that probably would have been mine too.
Now it's like a broken record in my brain because I said it so much. Now I can't not think about it anytime I look at something. Like, dang it, man. Got in my brain.
All right, go. What you got for show and tell?
Well, yeah, we just got sidetracked from the news. So, like I said, we're going to go to July 14th and September 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said last time, in August, me and Crystal, the GOAT family, will be at QuakeCon. August.
We'll be there too.
Oh, you are going?
Yeah, we're coming.
August.
We plan
10th.
to.
Yeah.
We plan to go. We have it blocked off on our calendar.
Okay. Well, we're just trying to go for the one day. We'll
Oh,
play
are
that
you?
by ear, I guess. Well, I'm just trying to make it cheap because we're coming back from the Indianapolis trip. Monday.
True.
So I'm not trying to
Yeah.
make any expensive plans just yet. I need to, assess the damage after we get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if anybody's going to the Indianapolis Gen Con, we're going to be there also the 1st through the 4th. So
Yeah.
if anybody's a big board gamer like us, the GOAT clan will be there, and the Coked Up Zombie clan, and some other of our friends.
Yeah.
Whole entourage.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much it for RUM-Gaming news that I could think of. I don't have anything going with like gaming news really, other than I beta tested once human, but
Yeah, beta tested once
just
human.
fun.
I restarted an Elden Ring playthrough. Made a new character. That's been pretty fun. In prep for the the DLC that's about to come out. I'm super stoked for it. It's gonna be fun.
I still have never played it. I played it for like 5 minutes.
It's good. It's really good.
Oh yeah, I mean it looked great. I basically got a pirated version of it loaded up just long enough to make sure it worked, and then gave it to the wife.
Yeah. Yeah, the Elden Ring DLC is going to be amazing. Is that a P1S I spy printing away up there? Goat? Is that what that is? Yep, P1S. Yep, it sure is, King.
Yeah, hopefully not too noisy when I talk behind me because it's in that like speed mode.
You can't even hear it. What is coming up in news? There was something I wanted to bring up for gaming news, but I can't think of it now.
I mean, other than the Star Wars Outlaws in August and the new WoW expansion at the same time.
The new WoW expansion. They announced
Once Human in July.
They announced the new season of Diablo.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of been announced for a little while.
Let's see. Yeah, that's all I can think of for right now.
Yeah, not a lot of news going on. We're kind of laying low over here in the GOAT household too.
Yeah,
doing a bunch of yard work and stuff.
Yeah, our garage is at the Dragon House here is shaping up, so I should get back. I should be able to get back to the dice making here pretty soon, which will be exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully, well, one of these days when this toaster oven I got from the moon or something, apparently, because it's taken like 3 weeks to get here, I'll start doing those coasters and coaster holders. We're gonna melt down the poop from the machine into coasters.
Oh yeah. We were talking about that. That's gonna be cool.
I got the molds and like 3 boxes of scrap to start going through.
Speaking of 3 boxes of scrap, show us what you've been working on, man. And then I'll show the stream what I've been working on.
So, like we
hold on, you ready? We'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, bang.
What? You're supposed to go 5, 4, 3, and then silence.
No. That's not how that works. Oh gosh,
That's how you always do it.
Box.
It's broken.
It's not broken.
You can
I
see
just
the
gotta
giant
remove
me.
it.
After I change it so I can see myself on Discord.
There you go. Yeah, big
So my
giant,
mouse
big
likes to
giant you.
disappear.
Big giant
So we
goat
got-
on your screen.
Oni mask. This one is oddly dark, like really red in the back, really black on the front. Not quite sure why, because it's the dual color filament. But when it's in person, it's kind of hard to tell with my lighting. You can kind of turn it and see the hints of red everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sick. That's a really cool touch.
It's pretty cool. Comes with the oh, there they are. Comes with the tie-in holes over here, so you can actually like tie it to your face, wear it as a mask. And then
Yeah,
a
man, those are
slightly different variant is this one, which came out way more red on the front.
That
And
was
they
cool
look
too.
they're almost exactly the same, but it's just slight differences in like the nose and
So,
the details on the side.
have you figured out how to like control that yet?
What?
Like which side,
way the color goes?
Which way the color goes?
Sort of. I mean, it typically, like, once I print the first thing, it'll print the same way every time. So if I print one thing and see blacks on the front, and I know I don't want it to be all black on the front, I can just rotate it in the program.
Yeah.
But I kind of just let it roll and get what I get sometimes. But like when I did the gold and black piggy banks, and they were so small, and it did it just right. We're like looking directly at it, it just looked like a solid black pig.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's kind of dumb. It's supposed to be a piggy bank. Like gold would be better. Like, so I turned that around. That way it was like gold on the front, shadow in the back. You know,
Right.
made more sense that way. But they use, you know, like I think the black one, even though it looks really dark on the stream, in person it's nice, like subdued red, so it actually looks kind of cool. Whereas this one, like, you can't even really see the black in it. It's more like little hints of black.
Yeah.
So even though they both printed, they both printed like this.
Yeah.
I really don't know why one came out one way and the other.
There's definitely a market for both of them, man. They're both really cool.
Otherwise, you know, I've seen these before, the little winged dragon, but I made a cotton candy one.
Yeah.
And these pretty cool looking. And again, earlier I showed it, the dragon egg. When I went to the show, so I made a dragon, crystal dragon, in almost every dual color filament that we have. And a few solid colors, and then a few, like, you know, two-tone color ones.
Yeah.
And I thought I had at least a couple dragon eggs in each dual color filament. And then I get to the show, and I had like one cotton candy and like 3 golden blacks. And I'm like, really? What happened to all the other colors? We have like 6 different dual color. Only had 2 colors worth of eggs. I'm like, well, this is awkward. So made a red and black dragon egg. Unscrews for those that didn't see it earlier.
Yeah.
You know what you can put in there?
Put your weed in there. Oh.
Threw you off on that one, huh?
I didn't say that.
So I also made a cotton candy fox. It's a new model. This was per mostly the kids' request. She wanted to make one for a friend's birthday party coming up. And this one actually printed like exactly where it's like pink on one side, the teal on the other, and that's the blend of cotton candy across the back.
That's pretty nifty.
And then, if I remember later, I'll show you the other one that was actually a mistake, because I'm terrible about monitoring how much filament I have. So we have another one. I went to make another one of these. I'm like, oh, cool, let's make another one, because this one she's given to her friend for her birthday. I was like, well, I want to have one to sell. And didn't have enough to finish it in cotton candy. So it's 3/4 cotton candy, 1/4 black and red. It actually came out really cool. And she chose that one to give to her friend over this one.
Oh, well, I wanted to see it, but I guess that's
we will. I think she's eating dinner right now, so I'll show it before the stream's over. One small print, but really cool before we get to the 2 bigger, cooler ones.
Yeah.
This is a fidget spinner thing. It prints just like this, or just like this sideways. put all these rings together, and they actually all spin.
Oh, neat.
It has there's no bearing in here. It prints like this, and I'm gonna sit here and spin it, and it just keeps going on its own.
That's incredible. You got to send me one of those.
It's crazy how you would think there was a well-oiled metal bearing in there the way this thing spins, and it printed just like that. Popped it off the bed and spin it like that.
Yeah, you got to send me one of those.
It's just crazy the files people come up with that work well.
You need to print a bunch of those. That could be something that you could give away on the damn Plinko board, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Now, the cooler prints, for those of the board game aficionados, this is a dice tower that's based off of the Betrayal House on the Hill game.
Yeah.
And your dice go through. No, this one's not glued on there because you can swap it out with one that's solid for display or the one with the hole to put the dice in. So put your dice in there and they roll out into the courtyard, and this rolls out.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that before.
And this part right here is big enough to hold all 8 of the dice that you use in the game. So it's dice storage, dice rolling in collapsible. And there's more. Yeah. Under here, you pop this out if I can get it out. You put a tea light in here. So you can put like an RGB tea light, put it back in there, and it'll light through all the windows on the house. So that's really cool.
Well
print.
Thought out, very well thought out print.
Yeah. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but worth it, I guess, because it was not all of them. It prints the first floor, the second floor, the balcony over here, and this piece, and those all have to be glued together. This has to be pushed in, and then 2 little pegs put in. So there's a little bit of work involved with it, and it's not just don't just print it like this.
Yeah.
So it's not that kind of thing I can mass print because it requires extra work, but it's for a veteran here in town, Coked Up Zombie. It says free print for the month. And then the one that took a lot of time, 22 hours to make this dice tower.
Yeah, that
right
one's
here.
Just wicked.
Comes complete with a dungeon inside of there.
Yeah, can you put stuff in it?
No, I mean, you could try.
That would be cool if it was like an actual dice dungeon.
I mean,
you could probably modify it with like a little door on the side.
Yeah, or on the back or something.
Or a little thing in the bottom where you can put a tea light in it and you can, make it light, make a light in the dungeon.
There was another version that might have the capability of putting it in there. But I printed the one that was sealed, and it was kind of a pain choice because there was supports inside the dungeon that I had to carefully pull out. But yeah, this thing, it's kind of, if you can tell with the lighting, there's the stairs in there. So it's tiny little stairs all the way up. The railing here will actually close. I just haven't taken the time with an X-Acto knife to break the seal on it. But yeah, that was 22 hours to print this thing, and had about a volleyball worth of supports on my table afterwards.
Yeah, I'd definitely like one of those for the D&D sessions.
And then the wife brought in the dual color fox.
Oh, there it is.
So on one side, it's the teal and black, and actually looks like it belongs like that.
Yeah.
And then the other side, it goes from pink to red, like it's just a blended cherry color.
Pretty
and the
neat.
back just looks like red and black, like normal. Like it actually came out like it's on purpose.
That's kind of cool.
So, yeah. That's why she chose this one over the other one. Like, this one's more unique. That kind of thing that, like, would have been like an accidental print. Like that book doesn't look good because it goes like purple, black.
Yeah.
But with the fox, it just happened to print the right colors on the right side and did pretty good. But yeah, that's all the show and tell for this week of 3D printing. All the rest of the stuff I printed is stuff we've all seen before, just different colors of the same thing. Like
yeah.
the bone pin hairpin that I showed you.
Yeah.
That is a show real quick because you said you couldn't remember if we'd actually shown anybody.
Yeah, I don't remember if you did or
What's
not.
this thing?
But those are cool.
It's just a, so it's your standard hairpin, but it looks like a bone, and you put it through the skull on your hair.
I'll tell
I
you
can't
what.
really demonstrate, because I don't really have any.
If I hadn't have cut my hair, I would have definitely used that like for my Witcher cosplay.
I should have tagged The Witcher too. I put it on our TikTok, and I tagged like witches, voodoo, hoodoo, skulls, crossbones, like everything I could think of to try and get it some traction. Like I wish I would have thought about The Witcher.
Yeah. But our topic for this evening, man, I'm actually kind of excited for this one. This is a good one. We came up on the spot, like, I don't know, early
Today.
this afternoon. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about it. You did a little more prep than I did. I'm going to kind of fly off the cuff here, but we're going to talk
Well,
about
like I told you, I got a terrible memory. So.
Oh, God. Yeah, true. Me too. With certain things, it's weird. Like I have a terrible selective memory, and I don't get to select which things I remember and which things I don't. But we're gonna talk about our favorite like childhood cartoons.
And again, for those that haven't watched our show very often, I don't really remember, kind of the gimmick or the point of our talk show is it's two brothers, two veterans, two views, but the reason is because we're an exact 10-year difference from each other.
Yeah.
I turned, what do I turn? 41 this year.
Yep, I turned
And you
31
turned 31.
Yeah.
On the same month.
In the same month,
Few
within a
days
few
apart.
days apart. Yeah.
Yeah. So the difference in like our views is the big stickler, but also just when you think about things like cartoons, like it's basically two different generations.
Yeah, our
cartoons
cartoons
that we
are
grew
going to
up
be
with.
very different. There may be like one or two similarities that we'll share, but I feel like the ones that we talk about are going to be very different.
Yeah, and like I honed in on the ones that you probably wouldn't have watched a lot of, like the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the late 90s, because I graduated in 2002 and you were in the house at the time. So, I mean,
Yeah.
late 90s, you still would have been seeing. But yeah, it was interesting. I had to, like he said, I did a little bit of research just because I didn't want to leave any of like my favorites out. So I went ahead and looked up a list of like top 80s and 90s cartoons. And even then, I looked at the top 64, and some of the ones that I did actually remember didn't even make the cut. I had to go look them up myself and make sure they were part of the 80s and 90s.
So that's how you know that's a deep dig there.
But I did want to point out, before we get into the list, though, I was just thinking of like my kids' cartoons, like what would she pick? And it was kind of interesting because nowadays, like my kid grew up with Netflix instead of cable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, granted, there's tons of shows, but I feel like there wasn't a lot like when I was growing up, because I noticed there's a lot that only had like 1 season, 2 season.
Yeah.
So I'd get 3 different cartoons in 1985 to 1987, and then 88 to 89 is 2 more shows, and then 90 to 92 is 2 more.
Yeah.
Like it's just constantly changing.
And I really do think, and I really do honestly believe, like my generation had like the golden era of like kids cartoons.
No.
Yeah, dude, we had the best cartoons. I'm sorry. Like the ones that we had so many and they were all so good.
I mean, but that's good to you though. It's not like you've seen all the ones I've seen.
That's true. That's very well.
I feel you're always going to hold to heart the ones that you grew up with.
I mean, but
since those are the ones that molded you.
I like to consider myself to be pretty versed. I've definitely watched a lot of like the older cartoons, or at least I like to think I have, or at least I'm aware
We're
of
not talking
them.
about Looney Tunes, right?
No, I know. One of the cartoons on my list is favorite childhood cartoons. Might fucking surprise you.
We'll see.
Well, but since you're prepared, you go right on ahead. I can extend it out by just riffing off of what you say.
Yeah. So my list is not really in an order. I tried to put it in order, but man,
It's hard. You couldn't ask me to order mine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I definitely have favorites, but they're favorites for different reasons.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say like, oh, this is my. But some of the ones that jumped out that like I kind of forgot about until I saw it on the list, which is funny because like I see like TikToks and shit all the time, but like forgot that I actually grew up watching the cartoon. And one of them was Johnny Bravo.
Oh, hey, baby.
Like, and it's funny for those that have never seen Johnny Bravo.
Would
He's like
not fly today.
I'd fly today. Because he's the stereotype of the hunk guy that's trying to get with the hottest chick.
Yep.
And he fits every cliche, every stereotype, and almost 99 out of 100 times doesn't get the girl.
Yep.
Because he fits every stereotype. And that's why I feel like it would actually stand a shot today, King Tut. Because I'm like, he doesn't get away with it. Which is what society wants you to see, them not getting away with it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, every episode just kind of ends in his ultimate failure and downfall. Yeah, that's true.
But it's funny though, because even though he failed every time, I was like, man, Johnny Bravo's so cool.
Yeah.
He was like not a role model, but it was like, you know, I still felt like
I wish I had that confidence.
Yeah, because he's basically like the cartoon version of the Fonz, you know?
Yeah.
And the Fonz did get the ladies.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you're like, well, if I took Johnny Bravo and the Fonz and mixed them together, I'd be a god.
Unstoppable.
Yeah. So, it's just funny. In a sense, you almost feel like you learned a lot watching Johnny Bravo too. You're like, okay, let me take notes. That didn't work. Got it. That didn't work. Got it.
Speaking of things that don't work in TikTok, I'm going to derail the conversation, but have you seen, there's this TikTok account that like goes through and like finds like all of these other TikToks of like girls like posting like beige flags or like turn-offs for men, and he has like this list on his phone, and it's like, you know, 4,000 items of like every time there's a TikTok of this, it's like, okay, things you don't want to do if you want to get a girl, and it's like 4,000 items. Don't breathe heavily, like just weird. It's funny as hell, dude.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. And it's like, and it is true. Like,
yeah.
I mean, true on purpose. I mean, yeah, obviously every person's going to have their own taste.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to have your own little turn-offs, your own little turn-ons. Yeah. Yeah. That shit reminds me of the Big Bang episode. The wife's watching Big Bang Theory for the first time. I watched it for the first time like last year.
Oh, really? The wife and I are watching through it for like, I think the second time now.
Yeah. Well, we got to the episode with like Penny's boss at like the pharmaceutical company that like, or not boss, it was somebody she was trying to sell some stuff to. And he's like, gotta be, you know, he's partial gray hair, you know, 40 to 50 years old.
Right.
And he took it that if any girl touched him for at least two Mississippis,
two Mississippi
that they were into him.
Yeah.
You know, so like
he was
she
a
just
famous
puts her
actor.
hand on her shoulder. I don't know, he did sound familiar.
He's
I meant
been
to
in all
look him
kinds
up.
of stuff. Yeah.
I want to see. Oh, isn't he? It's not Billy Bob Thurman, is he?
I really do think
like
that is Billy Bob Thornton.
Thornton, yeah.
Yeah, it is Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, that's Billy Bob Thornton. I was about to say, like, hold on. I know this. Yeah, that is Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, because I remember him from, shit. I just watched it. Fargo, right? Wasn't he in Fargo? Like the last season?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you not watched Fargo?
No, I have not watched Fargo.
Yeah, it's good. I would definitely recommend it. And it's
What's
got
it
a
about?
few. So it's each season is like a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, you know, like a American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Where it's like each season's a whole different fucking story, but they use the same actors. Fargo doesn't.
Sure.
but it's mostly about kind of like Sopranos type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of mafia involvement and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Damn.
Yeah, he was
Fargo?
in Fargo. Yeah, 2014 to 2017.
Okay, yeah. That's what, like when I saw that episode of Big Bang Theory, I was like, dude, why does that voice sound so familiar?
I'm pretty
And,
sure that's Billy Bob.
you know, he's to find out.
I'm looking.
Billy
Yeah, it is.
Bob.
Okay, yeah, it was him.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
100%.
yeah.
100%. IMDb credit.
Surprised I'm the worst at recognizing actors.
Yeah, you picked him out before I did. That's surprising. Yeah.
I know. I can never remember an actor's
Yeah.
name. But anyway, yeah. So, how did we get off on that? I don't even know.
I forgot.
We squirreled about 17 times there.
Yeah.
It was a Johnny Bravo, and then you were talking about TikTok. And,
yeah.
two Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah, 2 Mississippi.
Well, the different extremes of like guys thinking what the girl wants.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton
Yeah.
and Big Bang Theory. Like, if a girl puts her hand on his shoulder to like say thank you, he counts every time a girl touches him.
And if
It's like 1 Mississippi,
yeah.
2 Mississippi. And he's like, 2 Mississippis, you must love me. And he'll like stalk you and bring you flowers and shit. And yeah. Again,
oh, I love that.
role
episode.
models of Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. Okay, so Johnny Bravo. That's a good one. Yeah, I know Johnny Bravo.
Do you want to name one of yours now? We'll just go
One of
back and
mine.
forth.
Okay, since we're going old school with you, I'll start with one of my old school ones. The Smurfs, man.
Oh,
I've
see,
seen
that's an 80s cartoon.
I've seen every single episode of the Smurfs. Every single one of them.
I mean, I can't guarantee that I have, but
Yeah.
I watched it most of my childhood.
Yeah, I've seen every single one.
Would you like have it on disc?
So when my little brother was young, he enjoyed it because my mom turned him on to it because it was one of the shows that she liked. And so by proxy, just by him having it on, I watched it. I ended up enjoying it too. And so yeah, we had like a complete collection on disc on like DVD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than if you're watching on disc. Yeah, I only ever watched it on TV with cable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was like, I may have seen every episode, but no guarantee to that.
But even still, like, because there was on I think even now on cable there's like a Hanna-Barbera channel where that's all they play is like the Smurfs and like all the old like Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Oh man, that's another good one. Oh damn it! It was like the race between all the Hanna-Barbera characters,
Oh,
like a space race or something. Or
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, the Smurfs.
I mean, I watched Smurfs regularly. I mean, it wasn't like come home right after school and watch the Smurfs, but I've seen them tons of my
Yeah.
childhood.
Gargamel, Papa Smurf. Garrett went as Papa Smurf for Halloween one year. Dyed his beard
What was
white and like
What's the cat's name?
the cat from the Smurfs. Oh,
God, Gargamel says it all the time.
oh my gosh.
You're supposed to be more of a fan.
I'm getting it. Azrael. Azrael. Yes. Azrael.
I forgot they made a real life Smurfs movie.
Yeah, they did. I actually don't think I watched it. I don't think I've seen
I'm
it.
pretty sure I did, but it would have been probably the year it came out.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. But yeah, that's one of the old school cartoons that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it, but it was definitely nowhere near my favorites. That's why it's not on the list. I watched tons of cartoons. As I went through that 64 list, I was honestly kind of surprised. I've probably seen 50 of the 64. It was kind of
That's actually pretty good.
yeah, like some of them. I'll go through the next. This one wasn't on my list, but it was kind of a funny one. I mentioned pre-stream. There's one that only aired 1980 to 1984, which is kind of weird because it only had 26 episodes. I mean, how you stretch that out over 4 years, but I guess 6 episodes a year. I don't know. It's kind of, maybe this had a break in between, but it's Heathcliff. It's a cat, kind of like Garfield. He's just a scruffy orange alley cat. So instead, it's like Garfield on the streets.
Yeah.
It's the homeless Garfield, basically. 1980 and 1984. And I'm like, I was born in 83 and distinctly remember watching multiple. I may have seen every episode. I remember watching it on some channel for some reason. It just got me thinking, like, man, like these things must have been aired in like the 90s somewhere.
I feel like I've seen the comics, but not the actual show. Maybe? I don't know. Comic? Yeah, there's comic books, apparently.
Well, comic books or comic strips?
It looks like books? Maybe books?
Well, I mean, you can
books,
put comic strips books. In a book, but...
Yeah, comic books. Yeah, it looks like it's just comic books.
Yeah, Heathcliff was one that, like, I remember watching, but didn't even remember that I remembered until I was looking at a list. Like, it definitely would have been one that came off my head like you were talking about doing today.
Yeah, it looks familiar. I don't think I've ever seen it, but it looks familiar.
But one that is on my list, and is one of my favorites, was the old X-Men cartoon from the 90s. And, like, I'll never forget that intro sound for the rest of my life. It's engraved into my head. And it reminds me of like those TikToks where they say, like, you know, this sound will trigger every person born in this year or whatever. And it's like, yep, it could be the first 2 seconds. And I'm like, X-Men. Or who's watching X-Men? But yeah,
apparently it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it surprised me. But yeah, it's a classic in the 90s. I remember watching that. I was collecting the trading cards from that same generation of X-Men as well back in those days. And I was in the comics and I had the trading cards and I'm watching the cartoon and it's just, you know, the whole world.
Who's your favorite
basically
X-Men?
At that time? I don't know. I'd really have to look at a list of just who are specifically X-Men instead of just that genre. I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like an X-Man. Just who's your favorite mutant?
Well, back in those days, it was always Beast, but nowadays, I don't really know.
I mean, I guess technically Juggernaut fits that because Juggernaut is a mutant. It's in the same universe
he'd be my favorite
X-Men.
mutant. Yeah, but as far as actual X-Men, I think nowadays I probably just say Gambit. Gambit was always cool, especially in the cartoon.
Yeah, I like Gambit. I think my favorite, man, it's either got to be Nightcrawler or what's his name? Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Angel.
But I don't think... Oh, yeah, he's an X-Men. Yeah, I got him on the list here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's, a lot of cool ones. Even Deadpool is considered one.
Yeah, Deadpool is an X-Men. Yeah, technically an X-Men. X-Force. Speaking of which, I'm fucking stoked for the new Deadpool movie. I haven't seen it yet. I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll be funny just because it's the same, like the other Deadpool movies.
Yeah, and it's got Hugh Jackman. I mean, how can it not be good?
Yeah, but I question whether it's going to be too much comedy, because that was kind of my problem with the first Deadpool. Was cool because it told a good story and was hilarious the whole time. The second Deadpool was kind of lacking on the story part and just more comedy.
I disagree. I think to be honest with you, to be completely honest with you, I think the second Deadpool is just as good as the first one. I liked them both equally.
I definitely like the first one more. I mean, I like the second one because I get to see a much cooler Juggernaut than the movie from X-Men.
Yeah. Well, he might be in. He might show up in the third one because he isn't dead.
Yeah, because he can't die.
Yeah.
At least I say he can't die. But
well, I mean, they confirmed it in the movie that he isn't dead.
Well, yeah, he didn't have any reason to be dead. He had like a electrical cable shoved up his ass. That was it. It's like the last you saw of him.
Yeah. Well, and he was thrown into a fountain. So.
Well, yeah, but he was just electrocuted. It doesn't mean he's dead.
Yeah.
It just means he's incapacitated.
Yeah. So X-Men.
So what's on your list? Yeah, mine's X-Men. What's your cross to X-Men?
My cross to X-Men. I'm gonna have to go with
Well, actually, first, you never seen any of the X-Men, right?
No, I know of it. I'm very aware of it, but I've never actually seen any of it. The Jetsons.
You're going too old. I think you're supposed to go with your generation of cartoons.
Well, we just said some of my favorite cartoons growing up. Well, these are it.
Well, yeah, but
what am I stealing some of your cartoons? You want me to stop with the old stuff?
Surprised because the Jetsons is like older than me.
I love the Jetsons. The Jetsons movie is like one of my favorite movies. I'll put it in like my top like 20 all-time favorite movies.
Jetsons aired 1962 to 1963 and then 85 to 87.
Yeah.
Like, Jetsons is fucking old.
I love the Jetsons, man.
Yeah, same thing with the Flintstones, 1960. Yeah, I mean, I like them too, but yeah, I was looking specifically
what
80s
up,
and 90s.
Ski, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, but the Jetsons, I mean, that's almost one of those things, like same thing with the Flintstones. Like it's almost like a household name and a thing.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I mean, I'm sure like my kid doesn't fucking know, but I mean, it's one of those things like
okay, bye.
It's those kind of shows, from those years that kept going, kind of like the Happy Days and things like that. Like some of those shows like kept coming back and keep getting aired to this day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like the Jetsons too. I have a keychain in my garage. It's mounted on my shop wall of Rosie.
Oh, really?
The maid.
That's cool. The robot.
Yeah, the maid. So yeah, I mean, I'm a Jetsons fan. I saw that and I was like, taking it.
Yeah.
I like any kind of
I'd like to have like
pop
one
culture
or two
stuff like that.
I'd like to have like one or two little Jetsons things to add to my little knick-knack collection.
Yeah, I told the wife, I was like, I'm about to start buying like shadow boxes like my mom used to have.
Yeah.
It says I have so many little things, and that's what I like collecting, because in my sense, you get to display more of your favorite things that way.
Yeah.
Without taking a whole giant bookshelf or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we recently went to a garage sale that had like every McDonald's toy or I don't know if it was just McDonald's, but they were all like Happy Meal type toys.
Oh, that's cool.
But they had like everything. They had like every Disney character, tons of Pixar stuff. So I don't even know where the hell they are, but I got a little Forky from Toy Story.
Oh, wow.
And something else. And she got like a Belle and a Beast and several little Disney characters and whatnot.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm like, that's when I saw all those things, I was like, man, I might just need to get a couple shadow boxes or something to make that my little hobby, collecting smaller toys.
You ought to see if you can like make your own shadow boxes, man. Like they're not super difficult to make.
Yeah, I mean, I made that tiny bookshelf for Crystal, but you can buy them at Hobby Lobby for like $20. I mean, why not just buy one?
That's true.
My turn, right? Did the Jetson.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we'll just go down the list. So we'll go with Doug next.
Doug.
was
Ooh.
Doug was one of my probably top couple, because Doug fit that perfect genre. Like when I was watching it, that I was like in his shoes.
Yeah.
I was the awkward kid in like elementary and junior high, and loved the dog pork chop. You know,
Yeah.
fit that like Doug was me. I was like kind of bullied a little bit through school, kind of shy and awkward with girls. Just like
Yeah.
it was always
I
cool watching Doug, because it was like watching my life.
Doug is another one of those that I'm aware of, but I don't think I've ever actually seen.
Quail Man. Sorry. Yeah, that's another one though. Like I can hear that soundtrack in my life or in my head.
When was that? 19 in the
Yeah, it's
91 to 94. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because think about that. I was what, 8,
Yeah.
9 when it started. So
Yeah.
I was like just getting into like junior high. Yeah, that's probably one of my top favorite shows.
I think
there. And I actually have it on Plex.
I think the one that like,
oh shit, I just remembered.
the one that I guess I can kind of think of that like I related to in kind of a sense that's kind of similar. Well, I guess I wouldn't say necessarily related to it, but similar to Doug in like premise was like Hey Arnold or Recess.
Hey Arnold's on my list too.
Yeah. Hey
I was
Arnold.
gonna say, I almost said Hey Arnold and Doug together because they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they're essentially the same show if you really think about it.
Yeah, just Hey Arnold was like up in like, wasn't he like in New York or the Bronx or
Yeah,
some
something like that. Yeah. But
and then Doug's more like, I don't know, small town kind of environment.
Yeah. And then Recess, I would lump in this kind of the.
Yeah, I've watched some Recess, but definitely not like I did Hey Arnold and Doug. I probably watched almost every episode, but Recess, I saw a few where, again, I know what it is. I would recognize probably some of the characters, but
Yeah, Recess is that's just classic, man.
Hey Arnold though was always a little bit different than Doug, I guess, because he kind of had the, awkward kid picked on, but more bold and not afraid of shit. So
Yeah, true.
he played that kind of character that almost like give you confidence. Like, well, if Hey Arnold could do it, I can.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to think of another one that's like really similar.
What, Recess and Doug and Hey Arnold?
Doug.
Nothing comes to mind. Nothing was on my list of like the 65 cartoons.
I'm gonna find it.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'll go on to the next one then, since we kind of swung through Hey Arnold and Recess. More, a little bit older, I guess, not 80s, but Darkwing Duck was one that I like forgot about until I saw it on the list.
Darkwing Duck. Man,
And
I
that was
love the voice actor for Darkwing Duck. He's also the voice of Tigger and Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah, actually, I've seen like that TikTok where he goes through like all three. I think.
Yeah, he does a lot. He's a voice actor for a lot of characters, but yeah, it's the same guy. He sings "Be Prepared" in Lion King. He only sings the song. He does not voice the character throughout the movie, but he only sings the song. The story behind that's pretty funny if chat's interested, if you're interested. But the voice actor that plays Scar in the Lion King blew out his voice singing "Be Prepared," so they had to pull somebody else in, and because he was the voice of one of the hyenas, they had him fill in and sing as Scar for the song. You can actually hear in the song when they switch voice actors. You can hear it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as singing actors, they do that a lot, though.
Yeah.
The singing will be somebody else entirely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but honestly, like the voice actor of the actual character and the one singing, it being the same person is also a lot more common than you would think too, especially nowadays, like with like the Frozen movies and like Moana, like all of those characters that sing in those movies are the same people that voice act.
Yeah. I think it was just now it's like, yeah, I think actors are becoming more diverse. Back then it was just more commonplace to be like, we have our singers and we have, it'd be like the same singer for 5 movies in a row with different actors. But yeah, Darkwing Duck was the shit.
Yeah.
I think I actually have that one on Plex too or something, or on the hard drive. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I downloaded a lot of the cartoons with like the intention of like, if Grace liked them, I'll watch them again with her. She didn't give a shit about my cartoons. The one that she did care about that I actually just added to the list and I remembered, which might be breaching into the late 90s, I'm pretty sure. But it was part of Snick.
Snick.
Snick? What did Snick stand for? Crap. Can't remember. I think it was a Saturday night Nickelodeon.
Nick at Night?
Snick TV show. Yeah. 2-hour programming block on cable television that was just Saturday night Nickelodeon. And one of the things during that 2 hours was, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah, which is also on Plex if you're ever interested. So this is basically literally kids at a campfire telling scary stories.
This isn't a cartoon, though.
Well, no, but
No, this doesn't count. It's not a cartoon.
I just said it reminded me of it, so I wanted to throw it out there.
Oh.
But it was on the same thing. Like, that was also when, like, Ren and Stimpy was played, too, which is on my list.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. Everybody loves Ren and Stimpy. That's like me saying Legends of the Hidden Temple. It doesn't count. Or like American Gladiator. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, we'll say that for another episode. Real life TV shows that we liked. But yeah, so part of Snick was Ren and Stimpy and Are You Afraid of the Dark? But yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark was cool, though, because it was like the kids' version of the Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, yeah. Or Twilight Zone.
I tried to get great. Well, no, because like it starts, Tales from the Crypt starts off with the guy in the house telling you a story from a book, and then it turns into the show. And that's what they do. They all start at the campfire. Somebody starts a story, and then transitions into the show.
Yeah.
I got Grace to watch like a couple episodes years ago. I just never followed through. But then fine. So the next actual cartoon. Well, I guess we said Ren and Stimpy, which that one I feel was a kid's show then, but it's right on the same lines of like Family Guy.
It was
comedy.
I was going to say that that tiptoes the line of like South Park, Family Guy, Simpsons, Futurama, adult
Simpsons
humor.
isn't that bad, but yeah, it's more like South Park adult humor.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, thinking like that's what influenced me for most of my childhood.
Yeah.
God, I watch clips of Ren and Stimpy every now and then, and I'm just like, damn, that shit was bad sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
some of it was pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
I
I think I'll stick in the same vein. We'll take away from kid stuff and more into adult cartoons that I liked as a kid. Well, I guess I've got a couple of them in the kind of same time frame and genre, but we'll start with, I'll just lump them in. Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill.
So I'm actually really surprised that I didn't put Beavis and Butthead on my list. Yeah. Because I grew up watching that when it was on MTV.
I've watched it on MTV before. Yeah.
And I've probably seen almost like Ren and Stimpy. way too much
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
I've seen the movie at least 6 times.
And yeah, and there's a new Beavis and Butthead, which is why I'm surprised it didn't come up on my list, because I was literally saw like 2 Beavis and Butthead TikToks that are clips from the new show.
Yeah.
And it didn't even come to mind, because I guess I almost don't even look at Beavis and Butthead as a cartoon, even though it's animated.
Yeah. And then King of the Hill, like, what an institution, man. Like, that's King of the Hill's got to be like one of the greatest cartoons ever made. Like, you can put that on a pedestal, like, just below The Simpsons, in my opinion.
That and Futurama.
Because if we want to talk about like a cartoon that I related to, that was it.
Well, yeah,
That
I mean, growing up in fucking
dude.
Texas, of course you're gonna relate to King of the Hill.
The thing is, my stepdad Martin was Hank. Like, the same mannerisms, like they sounded the same. The verbiage was the same. Like, man, one of the most relatable cartoons I've ever watched.
Yeah, we actually back when DVDs are still popular, we actually still have them. We have like the first like 4 seasons on DVD of King of the Hill and Futurama.
I love it so much. Futurama too. I love Futurama. It's one of my favorites. On my top 10. Probably in my Mount Rushmore of best cartoons ever. Futurama.
We started. I don't even know why we stopped. We were watching all the Futuramas like with our meals, like as a family, to prepare to watch the new ones that started coming out. Which I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they picked Futurama back up, like right where they left off, basically.
No shit. Huh.
Yeah, I want to say they're on like probably the 2nd season or something. Yeah.
Let's see. Another one from my child. Codename Kids Next Door. There's a newer one that you may or may not have seen.
That doesn't even sound familiar.
Yeah, Codenames Kids Next Door.
Yeah, so it's on Hulu right now. July. When did it start? Maybe it hasn't started yet. Maybe it's about to start.
Now,
14.
This Codename Kids Next Door, if you ask any kid my age, I can almost guarantee you 7 out of 10 of them will tell you this is the best one of the 2000s.
I've seen.
So
I probably have seen a couple episodes. I think I just didn't know what it was called.
This cartoon is about a group of kids.
Is this where Ed, and Eddie came from?
This is a Cartoon Network cartoon. Yeah.
No, I don't know if Ed and Eddie was a spinoff of this.
No. This is not a spinoff. Ed, and Eddie was actually before this.
Oh.
But Ed, and Eddie is actually on my list, though. My mental list. But yeah, it's about this group of kids who are basically like spies, like special operators in like this made up world, and they have like this tree house, and they all have like code names.
When did this show air?
2002.
Damn, I must have been seeing that like right. It might have been you watching it.
It could have been.
Because 2002 was when I graduated. Like, I might have been why I've seen it. Probably just you watching it in the same house.
But yeah,
shit, you would have been around like 9 years old at that time.
One of my favorite cartoons as a kid. Codename Kids Next Door.
That's still crazy to think that a show I was watching on graduating year, you were like 8.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Next on my list is Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons.
Now, we'll probably get fucking snagged with copyright, but I want to see if we can pull up the Tiny Toons toilet scene for everybody. Or Tiny Toons elevator scene.
Let's see if I can find it here.
This should be first thing that comes up. Hopefully, if we play it short enough, we won't get hit.
Let's see. Oh, it didn't actually take my search. Hold on. Tiny Toons toilets.
Yeah, it's the first one. If you type that in the YouTube.
Down the hole.
So this scene, it's pretty much the exact same as the elevator one. But it's one of those things, again, like the whole phrase like lives rent free in my head. Like, I probably watched this when I was 9 or 10 and can't get it out of my head.
Come on.
Let's quickly play this video as it buffers for an hour.
Remember to use the toilet paper, honey.
Toilet paper go down the hole. Toilet paper go down the hole. Toilet paper? Where toilet paper go?
And don't forget to get rid of that dirty diaper.
But anyway, just so we don't get hit with copyright, basically he just keeps putting more and more stuff in the toilet, just saying it goes down the hole over and over and over until the toilet overflows, and then he's like, I didn't do it. And the same thing with the elevator. He's like, elevator go up, elevator go down, elevator go up. And like, anytime I get in an elevator, I swear that shit pops in my head to this day.
It's just the
30
intrusive
years
thought,
later.
like-
Yeah.
no, I can't. I
That's-
can't say I know of Tiny Toons, but I've never actively watched it.
So you may or may not. I don't remember if she still had it, but we actually had the Tiny Toon game on Super Nintendo. It was like Tiny Toon Olympics or something. It was all kinds of like little mini games and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. It doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, it's like, I don't remember if she kept it or not, or maybe it was a game I rented. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Memories, man.
Yeah.
I just remember there's a Tiny Toon games on Super Nintendo that I remember playing as well. So that's, like double, triple memories. It's got 2 clips that live in my head for the rest of my life. I remember the cartoon and I played the video game. Like,
Yeah.
shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop the obvious one. I mean, my age, it's pretty much unanimous across anyone my age. SpongeBob, right? Like, what a masterpiece! I really do think it has to be one of the best cartoons ever made. Like, if
I will
not the
say,
best cartoon ever made.
I would definitely not say it's the best cartoon ever made, but it's definitely a universal one that I feel like adults get entertainment out of it, and kids and
Yeah.
teenagers and everybody, and came up with its own series of memes and
Oh yeah, it's got its own
catchphrases
culture.
and
its own
yeah.
culture. Yeah, I've got one singular favorite episode, and that's probably everyone's favorite episode. But it's the Super Bowl episode.
No, that's not mine. Mine is the one where he's trying to clean a stain off of the plate, and he ends up building like a super laser cannon.
Oh yeah.
And he's sitting there like, more power.
You got to go with this
But-
right here. The best scene in SpongeBob.
No, Super Bowl was the one where he's making burgers.
Time
for the
to
king. Oh, it's the sweater
Disney and
song.
Pixar's critically
No,
acclaimed
not
Inside Out 2
Sweater.
is breaking records.
That's not the one he sings at the Super Bowl.
Okay, football fans, put your hands together for the Bikini Bottom Super Band!
Oh,
These are some ugly-looking fish.
Maybe we're doing a plastic waste dump.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Okay, everybody. Let's get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Have you not seen this?
I'm sure I have. It wasn't so good. But it's also funny about the differences in age. You grew up watching this. My kid grew up watching this.
It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. We'll never sacrifice their will. Don't ever look back on the world closing in. Be on the attack with your wings on the wind. All the things we did.
I probably have seen it, but it's definitely not memory banks.
Yeah, best scene in SpongeBob history.
Well, before we get copyrighted again, played that for a minute. But yeah, I probably watched. I would say I probably watched them all because we had them on DVD.
Yeah,
and we were watching it on TV. Like, and shit. I've probably seen some of the episodes 27 times.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the great thing about cartoons like SpongeBob. I mean, there's really no overarching story. You could just pick an episode and watch it,
But I mean, it's definitely. I would say it's pretty diverse, but I wouldn't say it's the best. I mean, I'd pick any of the ones on my list over that.
It's the only problem I see with cartoons that are like that don't have like an overarching story is that if you let's say you're new to it and it's your first time watching it, if you happen to pick like just an off episode, the chances of you continuing to watch that show are slim to none, because you really had to, in order to really enjoy the show, you have to understand and know the characters, and by knowing and learning the characters, you just have to watch the show, and I think that's a big part of it. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. My dad won't watch Family Guy, and it's like, I don't know why, because I feel like a lot of stuff in Family Guy is like right up his fucking alley of humor. I feel like he would get so much enjoyment out of it, but he said he's watched like a couple of episodes that doesn't get it. And it's like, well, you got to give it a chance, because you got to know who the characters are and understand who they are and what they're about and what makes them tick. That's
I mean, you could kind of say the same thing about SpongeBob.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. SpongeBob's the same thing. I mean, if you don't understand the characters, then it may not make sense,
But you don't have to start at the beginning. You just got to watch enough of it to understand.
Have to watch. You're right. You just have to watch enough of it to understand. But what I'm saying is if you happen to start off on like just a bad episode, that could
like the
put
weird
you
one
off.
or something.
Yeah, that could put you off on continuing to watch the show to gain more understanding.
Yeah. Because, you picked the wrong episode of Ren and Stimpy, and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Honestly, you could do the same thing with SpongeBob. There's one episode that's like, what in the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Sorry. So there's, I'll go with two just to save us a little bit of time here. There's two that are kind of the same generation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Street Sharks.
Street Sharks?
You ever watch this one or heard of it?
I've never even heard of this one.
So
you finally got me on one. I've never even heard of this.
So, if I remember correctly, they're like crime fighting. It's like the Ninja Turtles, basically, but they're
sharks.
Sharks, and they literally swim through the roads.
There's a one with a fucking motorcycle. What the hell?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool show from what I remember. Oh, look, it even has a Ninja Turtles side by side on that one picture.
Yeah. This is unhinged as fuck, dude. What the hell?
Yeah. So that was a good one. The other one, similar, was called SWAT Cats, which was just they were a 2-man SWAT team. And like an all like cat world and stuff. So it was like a cat police force, and they were the SWAT Cats.
Yeah, never heard of this one either.
Yeah, both of them only had like 2 seasons in the 90s, but they were always super cool.
Wow. Okay, well, to save some time here, I'm gonna lump like I'm gonna lump like 4 or 5 into one here because they're all kind of going on at the same time, and I was watching them all at the same time. So, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids,
Never heard of it.
Danny Phantom.
Never. Wait, was the Phantom? I think I've seen pictures because he has like a green like Phantom or something, doesn't he?
He's here. I'll pull up a picture.
I'm pulling it up. It's fine. Yeah, it is. He's like a green version of himself. Yeah, I've seen pictures and stuff. But...
Yeah, Danny Phantom, and then Ben 10. You've Ben 10,
like BN and the number 10.
The number 10. Ben 10 is actually really cool. I think you would like Ben 10. It's about this kid who gets this necklace, and it has
it's
like
a watch. It looks like.
But yeah, it's like, or not a necklace. It's like a watch, and it has like all these like elemental beings in it, and he can like transform into these beings, and they all have like their own abilities and personalities and stuff. It's pretty cool. But then you've got like Fairly Odd Parents.
I've heard and seen episodes of that one. I've definitely never seen Ben 10.
Foster, I think I said this already. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like
I have seen clips or a few episodes of that.
Man,
that was always kind of weird.
That's one that I think you would enjoy because, well, at least I mean, you like that kind of like creepy horror kind of aesthetic. I feel like you would enjoy Courage the Cowardly Dog. That was the only problem I had with it.
I've seen several episodes.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary show. Yeah, growing up as a kid, it was kind of scary, so I only watched it a little bit.
I vaguely do remember something about the Fosters. I recognize a few of the characters, so I feel like I have seen an episode in passing or something. But interesting, crazy shows. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So I've only heard of most of those, seen a couple.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, definitely never. I've seen clips of that, but never cared to watch it.
One of my favorites. We had if I wish Garrett were here because he could attest to it. We had a Powerpuff Girls board game that we played for hours and hours and hours. I remember it. It was so much fun because it was like a standard board game, but it had like pieces that you like put on top of the board game to give it 3D elements.
More 3D.
Yeah. And so you would have the Powerpuff Girl like pieces, and they would advance up the board, and if they land on a certain space, one player would play as Mojo Jojo, and he had his watchtower, and you got this little dice that you could throw through the hole of the watchtower to try and hit one of the Powerpuff Girls.
I think we've talked about this before. We're talking about board games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
That actually
cool.
sounds familiar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did talk about this because as you describe it, that sounds familiar.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here.
Well, while you're pulling it up, I'll go with the one that I, for some reason, forgot to write down. I Googled it to make sure it was in the right timeline and then never put it on my list. It is Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. What, man? I know I've seen it. I've never watched all of it, but I've definitely seen it. And I man, the memory of it is so vague, but I do remember it.
Yeah, because that was more, I would almost say like an adult cartoon as far as the seriousness of it. So it was, kind of that one that made you feel more grown up, but you were still watching cartoons.
Yeah. Here it is. Yeah. So
did you finally find it?
Yeah. So these pieces, they're actually pretty significant. They're like rubber, made out of rubber or silicone or whatever. So they're pretty hefty, and you got these little spots, and you have to try and get to the tower to beat Mojo Jojo. And you can throw these little dice through this watchtower at the figures to like knock them back. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little game.
Yeah, it's always fun to find games that are more immersive instead of just move your piece, read a card.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I always like Mousetrap.
Yeah. That's why I like Betrayal.
Yeah, Betrayal. Yeah, I do like Betrayal. I have a love-hate relationship with that game.
Let's see. Where am I? I'm kind of at the bottom of this. Oh, shit. I had to scroll up. I'm retarded. Gargoyles was the first thing on the list.
Yeah.
Two more that I can tie together because the one I didn't Google it to confirm, but it has the same characters. There's DuckTales and Tailspin.
DuckTales, yeah.
So those are, Tailspin. The wife she didn't even remember it. She might have, I showed her a picture or something, but it actually has Baloo from the Jungle Book as a pilot in the TV show. But Tailspin was basically just ducks running like a pilot shipping company, kind of like Futurama, actually.
Yeah.
But ran by ducks. And then, DuckTales is the tale of ducks and their family. All their crazy adventures. And kind of in that same generation or genre was Chippendale.
Yeah, Chippendale.
The Chipmunks cartoon show, right around the same timeline as DuckTales.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch any of those three?
I've watched DuckTales.
No Tailspin though, with Lunch Pail.
No Tailspin.
Tailspin was cool. Thought of more like a country cartoon.
Yeah.
And then Chippendale I remember because back in the day, in the cassette type days, you had kids books that you could read along with a cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple of these, but didn't have the books anymore. It was kind of like audio books, basically.
Right.
So I had a Chippendale audio book.
Interesting.
And so I spent most of my childhood grounded. So I could only do things in my room. One of the things I could do was listen to these like audiobooks or read. And so like I probably listened to that Chippendale audio cassette, 100 times in my childhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably listened to the dang book more than I watched the TV show. I lost the fidget spinner. Another one that is definitely smaller on the lines of ones you probably never heard of is Bobby's World.
No, never even heard of that one. Not even vaguely.
Is the cartoon childhood story of crap. Who is it? Crap. It's an actor. Howie Mandel.
Okay. Howie. Okay.
So it was like his retelling of his childhood, the cartoon version of him as a kid.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It actually aired for a while, 1990 to 1998. Yeah, that was another one that I always thought was pretty funny and kind of weird.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of a couple here.
Little known fact about Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
Because what is he mostly known for nowadays? Isn't he on like a...
He's on he was on American Idol. Or no. Or was it
I think you're right.
It was like America's Got Talent or American Idol or something like that.
Yeah, one of those.
He did Deal or No Deal for a long time.
He was also in the Gremlins. He was the voice of Gizmo from the Gremlins.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Let's see. What are some other cartoons from my time? Oh, we've got like Samurai Jack, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Robot Chicken.
Did you finally look up the list?
No, I'm thinking. My Life as a Teenage Robot. Holy shit. Kim Possible.
I didn't know of Kim Possible. I've heard of Samurai Jack, but don't think I've ever seen anything.
Man.
Right? What about Captain Planet?
I've heard of Captain Planet. Yeah.
Never watched any?
Never watched any, no.
Man, I could almost recite you the dang theme song. Used to be able to, but it's been a while. What was the other one? Oh, Thundercats. That's more than the
Thundercats.
80s one.
Yeah, Thundercats. Everybody knows Thundercats, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's weird though, because like they're only 85 to 89, but like everybody's heard of it, like you said.
Now I'm looking through like a list of 90s cartoons just to see if there's any that I recognize.
So another one-off one that you've probably never heard of, and maybe you want to pull up a picture of it, is Duckman.
Duckman?
Yeah.
One word?
Yep. It's another one of those kind of like adult cartoons.
I have heard of Duckman. I have not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Bonkers the Cat, yeah, that's a good one too. I remember watching that. Yeah, Duckman is more like Family Guy type comedy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like speaking of bonkers, like when I was looking at this list, there's tons of cartoons that I've probably seen every episode of, but it was never like my favorite. Like I didn't go back and watch them or anything. So like the Heathcliff one I told you about. Wow, was it Alvin and the Chipmunks? I watched lots of that as a cartoon. Dennis the Menace. I've seen several episodes of.
Dennis the Menace, yeah.
Inspector Gadget.
Oh,
watched
yeah.
tons of that one.
I've seen a bunch of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Pound Puppies. I've seen a few episodes back in the 80s.
Never heard. Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah. Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
We talked. I think that was the first one we talked about.
Yeah,
Johnny
was
Bravo.
the first one. What was? Oh, here's the really one-off one that probably nobody's heard of, but it still made the list of the top 65. So, is David the Gnome?
David the Gnome.
Yep, another one of those ones. Only 26 episodes. He was a straight-up lawn gnome with a wife that traveled the world saving animals and defeating trolls.
Well, isn't that neat?
And it's like, that was like deep in the banks that like, if you would have said it out loud, I would have been like, the fuck is David the Gnome? But when I saw the picture next to it, I was like, oh shit. I remember watching probably all 26 episodes. Like, damn.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, I watched a few of those.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, Dexter's Lab was on here too, because that's 90, but that was 96 to 200003. I knew that was going to be
you got like Jimmy
cross
Neutron.
generation. Heard of it, never watched it.
Yeah, another like kind of Dexter's Laboratory type deal.
Oh, damn it! That's one of my favorites right here. Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life. Yes, dude.
Man, I have a little figure of Heifer the cow.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I think it's out in the garage too.
I love the guy that voices oh fuck, what's his name?
I don't know.
Rocco's Modern Life?
I don't know. There's not a lot of
I've
characters.
definitely seen the show. I may be thinking. Oh, I'm never mind. I'm thinking of Animaniacs.
Oh. Yeah, Bonkers is number 60 on the list. That's another one that's 93 to 94. And then speaking of Animaniacs, you have Pinky and the Brain, 95 to 98.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Heifer. The voice of Heifer is the guy that plays SpongeBob. It's Tom Kenny.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to like hear them side by side.
They do sound pretty similar, actually. Now I can hear them both in my head.
There's another one that crosses over into your generation's 98 to 2005 was Cat Dog.
Cat dog. Alone in the world with a little cat dog. Yes.
And then another one that's kind of weird, kind of like the Courage the Cowardly Dog, kind of weird, was Eek the Cat.
Eek the cat. Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a purple cat, 92 to 97. I remember seeing episodes of it, and it was just kind of weird.
I've never heard of that.
But it reminds me of Courage the Dog, because it's like he constantly finds himself in mortal danger while trying to help others.
I got one that's not from my childhood, but one that I think is worth mentioning just for being weird. Happy Tree Friends.
Oh yeah. Mudsaw, you were coming in late, man. We
Yeah,
already went over
Tailspin, yeah.
Darkwing Duck and Tailspin.
Yep. But yeah.
Yeah, Cat Dog was, like you said, great. It had its funny moments, but it was just kind of a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, Happy Tree Friends. Have you ever seen that?
It sounds familiar. Let's
So
see a picture.
it's this like it portrays itself as like this, cutesy little
yeah, I've
cute
seen a few of them.
animals, but through if you watch any episode, you'll learn very, very quickly that it's not cutesy. And these pictures that you can see of these cute little animals that are being slaughtered and with pencils sticking out of their eyes, that's probably screen grabs from the show. It's brutal.
I've seen clips or maybe a full episode or something.
But man, is it funny.
We went over Ren and Stimpy too.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy.
Crossed that over into because Ren and Stimpy aired on Snick. So we brought in one non-cartoon of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Which I don't think there was.
There's been so many.
I know.
And
which is what I was saying in the beginning with like Grace. It's like, man, if you were to ask her about cartoons, she could probably name about 5.
Yeah.
It's like it's just different nowadays, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's like we
used to spend all day flipping through.
I was gonna say we just spent 90 minutes just talking about the names of some of the cartoons that we watched. Like there was just so many.
Speaking of spinoffs, the Beavis and Butthead spinoff, Daria.
Yeah.
That's another one that I watched quite a bit of.
Yeah. I forgot that was even a Beavis and Butthead spinoff.
Yeah, she was a character in Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Man, I cut up Ninja Turtles was like an honorable mention. I'm sure Garrett would hate to hear that. I watched plenty of it, and I even had a few of the like action figures and stuff. But I was never just really into it.
I love the Ninja Turtles, but yeah, I named my dogs after them. Like I like the Ninja Turtles, but I never like watched the shows like actively. Like I've seen bits and pieces here or there. I loved the games,
Yeah, I did. I remember loving the shit out of the games.
Yeah.
What about the Magic School Bus?
The Magic School, man. I mean, I grew up on the Magic School Bus. That was in it. Like anytime a TV on a cart was rolled into the classroom, it was Magic School Bus time, dude. Let's fucking go, baby. Either that or Bill Nye the Science Guy.
And it's funny though because I've seen like TikToks and memes about like. I was just like the worst teacher ever, like always putting the kids in mortal danger.
Yeah, she is the worst.
Oh, man.
Most irresponsible teacher ever.
Yeah. God, I pulled up another list just to see if there's any that we missed here. I mean, there's the Pokemon TV show.
Yeah, I mean, we could go Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Naruto, but like,
well, those are.
Different.
I feel like Pokemon is the exception to the rule, though, because there is a anime portion of it, but it's not truly anime. At least not the American cartoon version.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Well, I mean, to be matter of factual, it is an anime. It is by all definitions an anime. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I feel like that's like the baby anime to get you try
Well,
and
yeah.
get you to like anime.
Yeah, that's definitely the gateway anime. Like that and Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Bleach and Naruto. Those are like the gateways.
So here's another one that I have seen, never cared for. It would always try and find something else to watch.
This will be
Was
the last one.
Arthur.
Arthur. I think that was the one that I was thinking of that was like Doug.
Yeah, kind of. I could see that.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's the one that was like that reminded me of Doug. Arthur.
Oh, another honorable mention. Speaking of Garfield and Friends.
Yeah,
Did you ever
Garfield
watch
and
that where they're
Friends.
like on the farm?
Yeah.
I remember watching. Oh shit, the Wild Thornberries.
The Wild Thornberries. Yeah, and then you have what's it called? Rocket Power.
Rocket Power.
Or
That doesn't sound familiar. You got Cow and Chicken though. You ever watch that one?
Cow and Chicken. Yeah.
It's almost like a Ren and Stimpy kind of knockoff.
Yeah, there you go, Shelby. Rocket Power. Oh yeah, much like
Is it
Dragon Ball
Rocket
Z. Yeah, another
ah, damn it. Ah, Real Monsters.
Rugrats.
That's gotta be in my top 5. Didn't even put it on my list. I have it on Plex and everything. Ah, Real Monsters. I'd love to find some figures of that.
So
Muppet Babies.
we talked about Fairly Odd Parents.
Babies.
But yeah, Rugrats, Rocket Power. But
The hell is that? No. Oh well, yeah. What's your opinion on this? Space Goes Coast to Coast. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-mm.
So it's animated, but it's more like a cartoon Saturday Night Live. So he's literally like a talk
I
show.
know what you're
It's a
talking
cartoon
about.
talk show.
Yeah. Kind of like a Harvey Birdman.
Well, I've never seen that.
A little bit. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'll accept that. That one's pretty good.
I mean, it is animated, and I did like it, but it doesn't come to mind when I think of cartoons.
Yeah.
Biker Mice from Mars. I've only seen a couple of those, but it's kind of on the lines of Street Sharks and whatnot.
Yeah. But that's going to wrap it up for our episode this evening.
Hang on.
You got
We're
one
almost
more?
to the bottom of this list.
Oh my goodness.
We got Two Stupid Dogs. Did you ever watch that?
No.
It's got like a little wiener dog and like a big shepherd dog. I totally forgot that until I saw the picture. That was a ton of good episodes. I Am Weasel. An IR baboon.
Okay. I have heard of Two Stupid Dogs. I Am Weasel.
Yeah. And then IR baboon is his enemy.
I have seen I Am Weasel. I've heard of I Am Weasel, but I haven't seen it.
Damn, another one that I thought about and forgot on my list. The Aladdin TV series. I think I didn't put it on there because I was going to cross over into your generation. But I'm pretty sure I've seen every episode of the Aladdin TV series. I used to come home and watch it after work or school, not work.
Really? 94 to 95. Yeah.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah. I didn't even know there was it.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we talked about Cat Dog.
It's My Little Pony, but
Yeah.
oh, I feel like this is a spin-off. Freakazoid. I can't remember if it was a spin-off of something or was that one. Did you ever watch Freakazoid?
Yeah. He was like he kind of reminded me of the Joker.
Or The Tick. It's from the same generation.
Yeah. Freakazoid. Who voiced Freakazoid?
I think that's almost it. We're the last 10 here. Some of them I didn't really know had cartoon versions. There's a cartoon series for The Mask.
Yeah. Yeah. SWAT Cats, Mudslide. Yeah, we talked about SWAT Cats.
I think, did you bring up Mighty Max or not?
No.
Seeing the picture of Mighty Max, I remember it now. But only vaguely. Another shitty TV show, Rupert. Ugh. It's right up there with Arthur. Earthworm Jim had its own
Earthworm
series.
Jim.
I think
yeah,
I remember
I
seeing
remember
that.
Earthworm Jim.
And Bill and Ted had a TV series. Oh, Spawn. I used to watch the Spawn cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bunkers and then whatever the max is. Never heard of that one. All right. That's pretty much it. We're at the bottom there. The rest of these are getting like weirder and weirder. Never heard of any of them.
Toe Jam Earl. Yeah.
That's not a cartoon. It's a video game.
Yeah.
If it is a cartoon, I've apparently missed out.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine what that would be about. Is it a TV show?
I don't know.
I hope not. Says it was discussed, but never came out. Probably for the best. I love Toe Jam Earl, the video game. I even told you like a week or so ago. I downloaded it because they remastered it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine that being a TV show. But yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got anything else, I was purged down the list.
No, I
Never.
think that's all that I've got.
We did say SWAT Cats, but it's spelled with a K, by the way, not a C. Get it right.
Yep.
If you're gonna be a fan, be a true fan.
That's right. And
Adam
a true
Ant.
fan will always use their Twitch Prime to sub.
A true supporter of veterans.
to sub for free to our channel here. That gets, generates funds for us as a nonprofit. That's always helpful. Speaking of being helpful, you can go check out our social medias. Go check us out on TikTok. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our website. Come find us on Discord. Come play some games with us. Come have some chats with us. Give us your ideas for what we should talk about on this podcast. We'd love to hear from you. What else we got?
If you want to be a guest, reach out to us too.
Oh, yeah. If you'd like to be a guest and you have something you want to talk about, or, a field you're an expert in that you'd like to, let us pick your brain about, absolutely let us know. We're looking to have guests on the show. So definitely reach out.
We thank you for your 22 months, Adam.
That's
Appreciate
right.
it.
22 months.
So, one more last thing. I did forget this show and tell.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Failed attempt to save the Broken Frostmourne.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have to reprint the whole thing. Because as you can see, I suck at drilling straight. And yeah.
Yeah.
That's my embarrassing tale that I'm just going to have to chuck it up and start printing a whole new one with thicker walls. But I forgot about those leaning up against the wall here.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see it once it's complete, and hopefully all one color.
Well, it'll be painted. It
Yeah.
would be one color when it's done.
Awesome.
Doesn't matter what I print it in, it'll be painted.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting because that's definitely one of the coolest prints I've ever seen.
Yeah. I hope to do more bigger ones like that. So if you ever want something big, have any ideas? Again, I'm struggling to think of what would be a cool big 3D print. And me and the guy that we try and do shows with, we're both talking about the same thing. We want to make something even bigger than the sword.
Yeah.
We want to make, like a life-size fucking Deadpool or something to bring to a show,
Yeah, wouldn't that be
We want to
cool?
really show off the possibilities. So we're trying to brainstorm if you have any ideas like that. Like, I think we talked once upon a time about making like a life-size blue dog.
Yeah.
Or blue creature, the mascot. I think that'd be cool to make one the size of like a, medium-sized dog.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, if you have any ideas, we're always open for things. Or if you want to order something on your own, custom ordering, come to our website, talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Printer's always ready.
Printer's always running and it's always ready. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and make sure you tune in tomorrow for Goat's stream. He's going to be playing what?
I don't know. It might just be get to go watch me suck at Call of Duty, be the Call of Duty metronome. Because once human beta is over and it doesn't come live until July, the 7 days patch comes out for streams this weekend, but not for the public until Monday. I do plan on playing that, so next week you'll be able to see the new 7 days content. But yeah, in between then and now, there's really nothing new out or anything. So it might just be me pretending I know what I'm doing on Call of Duty. And if you like hearing people freak out and curse at their monitor, that's where it's at. Because I'm not saying everybody's cheating, but
everybody's cheating.
Something's going on.
Make sure you not only tune in tomorrow for Goat's Call of Duty shenanigans. Make sure you tune in on Mondays as well. Our friend Scrivdoc is taking a break from the wrestling content, which I think is deserved and a little needed for him. He's doing a complete chronological playthrough of the Halo series. He has already completed Reach and has moved on to Halo 1. So now's a good time to jump in if you want to jump in on that playthrough. So definitely.
He beat the first game in one night?
He already beat it two nights.
Gee. Oh. Did he do it last week?
Yeah, he did it last week. He beat it last week.
Oh. I swore he was doing wrestling last week.
Yeah.
Again, memory of a goldfish.
So
I was
it's
about
still
to be
early.
like, damn, that's a short game.
He's on game 2 of the chronological series, which is Halo 1. So Combat Evolved. So definitely.
Oh wait.
Yeah, the original
Is
Halo.
it the original? Okay.
Yeah, it's the original Halo.
I didn't know it had a secondary title too.
Yeah, Halo Combat Evolved. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that. Other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we will see you back 8:30 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday for the next podcast.
It's 7 p.m. Central tomorrow.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone.
See y'all.
Yes, Adam. Yes, it was.